A 16th century map shows Antarctica, the 300 years before we found it. When you think of explorers like Amundsen and Scott racing to the South Pole, it's hard to imagine that someone could have known about Antarctica before any of them. But when Ottoman Admiral Piri Reis drew this world map in 1513, scholars dismissed it as inaccurate and incomplete. That was until modern analysis revealed detailed coastlines that closely resemble South America, and yes, Antarctica, completely ice-free. How could he have known about a continent that we hadn't discovered yet? Well, there are a couple of theories. One is that Piri accessed lost Alexandrian records or ancient mariner maps that depicted Antarctica. But what's more likely is that he saw something that we all can see today. Antarctica's coastline exposed by shifting ice, just like it's shown on his map. In fact, many scholars now believe that prehistoric sailors from around the world charted these coastlines, including the tip of South America and the rim of Antarctica hundreds or even thousands of years before Piri Reis. The question is, how did those sailors get there and how did their maps survive? We don't have any definitive answers, but some researchers have suggested that people may have migrated from the Middle East to South America via a now-vanished land bridge. Others believe that ancient mariners used the Pacific Islands as way stations on their travels across the ocean, although no one knows for sure. What we do know is that this map is one of the earliest to depict Antarctica without ice, and while most of the continent remains a mystery, we can see that some of its southernmost coastlines are surprisingly well known. In fact, modern cartographers have admitted that some of the coastlines on Piri's map are disturbingly accurate. So either ancient people really did explore Antarctica, or someone before us mapped the world and then vanished. And if that someone was an ancient cartographer who charted Antarctica and the rest of the world, why haven't we found their maps? Well, they probably didn't look like this. This is an example of a modern map projection, which distorts the size and shape of land masses, especially around the poles. The ancient maps would have looked very different. They would have been drawn on a cylindrical or spherical surface, and would not have had the same perspective as modern maps. So when we try to find these ancient maps, we're basically looking for a needle in a haystack. But if we keep looking, who knows what we might find? There are over 20,000 maps in the British Library alone, and many more in other collections around the world. With so many maps to search through, it's only a matter of time before we find one with the answers we're looking for. When maps outlive empires, truth hides in ink. So subscribe now for more information.